So it's actually great to see this year that we have two different distinct sizes of the iPhone Pros and both are equally capable. So the smaller iPhone Pro is not handicapped in any way when it comes to the performance or the capabilities. So the cameras are exactly the same, and I've shot using primarily the iPhone 13 Pro Max under various conditions. Everything over the iPhone 12 Pro Max has shown subtle improvements. It's not game-changing. There are few extra tweaks, cinematic mode being one of them, but it's nothing that will completely change the ball game this year. It's more of an S model upgrade this year. The same here. So if you want this same phone in a smaller package, you can do that. It's the exact same size of the sensors. As you can see, they're the exact same size this year, unlike last year where there was a major compromise in terms of the camera performance. The sensor shift stabilization was missing and the actual sensor size on the 12 Pro Max was larger. And it's amazing to see that even this small phone, and for that matter the regular iPhone 13 and 13 mini, have bigger sensors than even the iPhone 12 Pro Max from last year. So the one area where the smaller phone definitely is more accessible is reachability. It's much easier to reach the top and bottom of the screen as opposed to this. You have to physically shift the phone within your hand to reach the edges. So I think 6.1 inch is probably like the Goldilocks size. It's the sweet spot. Now you can see the smaller notches out here. It's even less bothersome on the bigger 13 Pro Max for the simple reason that the width of the phone is much more than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. If we stack them on top of each other, you can see the kind of extra width that the 13 Pro Max offers. And that is the reason that even though the notch on both is the same size, it seems even smaller on the 13 Pro Max. Let's now see the kind of sound that they produce at max volume. This is one of my own videos. So let me try and see what kind of sound the Apple Watch records. So this is the smaller one. So ranging between 72 to 80. Same experiment here with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I mean, the results show that they're actually quite close. This one goes from 77 to 86 decibels, whilst this stays somewhere between 72 to 80. So the bigger chassis obviously makes it sound louder, but in practice, even having come from the iPhone 13 Pro Max, this is still quite loud. So the speaker performance for a smaller phone is excellent, and you will not be left wanting even with the smaller iPhone in terms of speaker performance. Now, one of the key benefits of moving up in size between these two phones to the Pro Max is the battery life. And I've been using the 13 Pro Max for more than a couple of months now, and frankly speaking, you cannot kill it in less than 1.5 days, and that is saying something. And that is with two SIM cards, mostly Wi-Fi, some cellular data. So that means that by the end of the day, so around 11 PM, the day finishes with about 40% battery, between 40 and 50% of battery. This one here finishes the same day at about 20%, just before the low power mode kicks in at around 10-11 PM. So more than sufficient, but you have to factor in mind, and this may be the way to decide between them, if you plan on traveling a lot or being away from Wi-Fi, connected to cellular networks and shooting a lot of photos and videos, then that extra reserve of about 20-25% with the bigger phone may come in handy. If that is occasionally what you would do and you would still have access to a charger, then you'll be absolutely fine with this size of the iPhone 13 Pro this year as well. Now, since I've been using the Pro Max phones for the past year and I've been used to this screen size, I was thinking that going to a fully capable iPhone 13 Pro would actually mean that I would actually love the portability, and I do. But I'm surprised how much I actually love the screen of the iPhone 13 Pro Max instead. And it's not just the diagonal size, but it's the width as well. Traditionally, iPhones have been a lot wider than even Android phones like the Samsung flagships, which have been tall and narrow. So this gives you a lot more horizontal real estate even over the regular 13 Pro. So that's something that you may want to consider, because everything in 2021 and going forward to 2022 is about content consumption. So the bigger the screen, the more immersive the experience. And here you can see the kind of difference in screen real estate if we stack them together. So obviously the iPhone 13 Pro Max provides a much more immersive experience. And when you're watching movies on Netflix or those kind of apps, this will be even more apparent because you will have the black bars on the top and the bottom. So you will have a lot more real estate, and it's a lot more immersive with those louder speakers on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now in terms of the colors, you can see these are perhaps the two best colors to get these phones in if you care about resale value. Sierra Blue is obviously lighter than Pacific Blue from last year, and it looks really nice. It is in demand at the moment, really hard to get in some places. Gold is a traditional favorite, with probably since the iPhone 5s they've had different hues, but really looks good from the iPhone 12 family onwards. So I mean, you can't go wrong with either of these colors, but that's how they look. In terms of the weight, this is 238 grams, 203 grams. So there's a 35 gram weight difference. When you hold them in your hands like this, does it feel like much? Frankly speaking, to me, it does not. The 13 Pro Max obviously feels heavier and bigger, but that's more of a conscious decision. You choose the iPhone 13 Pro Max for the bigger screen size and the extra battery life. So you will obviously expect to pay a weight and size penalty for that. So there you have it. Two of the best phones that money can buy this year. The consistency and the reliability of iOS makes them really safe choices this year, and it's great to see that the smaller iPhone does not get any compromises in any area this year. In fact, even the battery life is not a concern at all. So take your pick based on what you plan on doing with your phone. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking by till the end. I will see you in the next one.